So this is a brand that I initially had the opportunity to try sometime last year. I was actually at Saks Fifth Avenue in Manhattan, and I tried many of their offerings. I actually have a sample of most of their fragrances. And here we have the three new ones. So we have Loubicharme, Loubiprince, and Loubiluna. I'm excited to give you my first impressions on these three, let you know what my favorite is and what I think of them. So make sure to stay tuned. Now, before I begin this video and I tell you all about these three brand new fragrances, actually came out in 2021 last year by Christian Louboutin, and these are Loubicharme, Loubiprince, and Loubiluna. I do want to start things off by mentioning that if you are a fan of fragrance-related content, please do consider supporting this channel by subscribing to it. Make sure to enable all notifications by clicking on that bell icon. And of course, if you take something from this, value from this video, please give this video a thumbs up. It would really mean a lot to me, and it would help out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm. So before I dive into this first impressions video, I do want to give a very special thank you to David, who works over at the Saks Fifth Avenue in Manhattan. He's super cool, super friendly. I'm going to leave all of his information down below. If you want to order any of these fragrances, he will certainly hook you up. He's actually the one that hooked me up with these samples, and I met him last year. He's super cool. So all of the information is going to be down below. So let's go ahead and start things off with Loubicharme. So this one, of course, all of the bottles, if you've taken a look at them, they have a very unique cap to them, and I love the gold hardware with this new collection, that dark, red. And of course, Christian Louboutin is known for, the red bottom high heel shoes. Oh, and this one is really nice. So this is a rose-based offering, if I'm remembering correctly, because I did briefly look up the note breakdown for each one of these, and I'm smelling a really nice, vivid, natural rose, almost bordering on photorealistic, but then there's also like this dark incensey quality about it. I feel like there's something ambery in the base as well, and I don't necessarily remember amber being listed as an accord in the note pyramid, but I do remember patchouli being listed. Oh, and the patchouli is really nice. It's actually not dry or herbal or bitter. It's adding like a really nice ambery quality to the base, which is super appealing. So the rose actually shares the stage with all of these other ingredients, and it is a soliflor in the sense that I think rose is the only floral ingredient in here. Super unisex. So this one is romantic. It has like a flirtatious, sensual vibe about it. I can definitely wear this on a night out, on a date. Definitely a fragrance to wear when you want to leave a really good impression. So Loubicharme is a beautiful rose-based fragrance if you're a fan of rose, but you want something that's a little bit darker, a little bit more complexity, and I think the rose in combination with the patchouli makes it smell that much more realistic because it adds that earthy element that I think accents the natural qualities of the rose. Beautifully done. The next one is Loubiprince. So let's see what this one is all about. Ooh, definitely veering into sweeter territory. You have this sort of tonka bean and resinous quality about it, and it smells really exotic. And so the resin that's used in here is labdanum, and labdanum is far sweeter than benzoin, and I'm perceiving that sweet combination with the tonka bean and the labdanum, and it definitely smells very exotic, definitely something that borders on like a Middle Eastern vibe, if you will. And I think it was this one where I actually saw people online comparing it to Oud for Greatness by Inicio Parfum, and I see a little bit of that, and actually the third one gets compared to something as well, but I think that these fragrances kind of do their own thing, and so I like their uniqueness, and I like the fact that, okay, they might in one way remind you of other fragrances that you've smelled in the niche realm, but they still possess their own unique personality about them, which would be enough to warrant a purchase, even if you happen to own others that fall under a similar olfactory classification. So this one, that sweetness lasts. So this one I actually smelled yesterday as well, because I was looking for Loubiluna, which is the one that I thought my wife was really going to love, and I think she will, even though she hasn't really tried it yet. And I'll tell you why she's gonna love it so much. And I actually put this on instead, and this one smells really good. Sweet, tonka bean, has like a vanillic undertone as well. And I think it's those dense base heavy ingredients that also contribute to that great longevity. So if you're looking for something really long lasting, that's probably going to be the longest lasting one from these three new ones. Now, of course, if we're going back to the ones that were released prior to these three, there are a lot of really, really great ones. There's one in particular that kind of reminded me of More Than Words by Xerjoff. I'm not remembering which one it is, but that one lasted such a long time on my skin, and I love the way that that fragrance progressed and unfolded on the skin. But definitely this one is long lasting, night out, special occasion, if you want to leave a good impression. Definitely the same thing that I can say about the first one, Loubicharme, I would also say about Loubiprince. And the last one, of course, is Loubiluna, and this one also has a very unique cap, gold hardware. And this one I actually saw online, people were comparing it to Santal 33 by Le Labo. Now, of course, whenever there's that particular type of sandalwood being used, those comparisons will be inevitably made, but that doesn't mean that this one isn't different or isn't unique or isn't worth picking up, because it might remind you of Santal 33. And this fragrance has a certain creaminess about it that you're not going to find in Santal 33, and that's because this contains fig. So it opens up with that juicy, ripe, kind of a fig ingredient, but it's a little bit on the subtle side. So it's not going to be as ripe and as juicy and sweet as like a Philosophes by Diptyque or a Purple Fig by Wilhelm Perfumery. Those are actually much sweeter, much fruitier, and this has more of like that creamy texture. And it's funny because the sandalwood ingredient in and of itself kind of has that creamy texture about it, right? Sandalwood is creamy and sweet all together, and so this one kind of combines that creamy sweetness from the sandalwood with the creamy sweet and fruitiness from the fig in the opening, and this one is awesome. So this one is probably the most casual one of them all. However, there is also something about this that would make me want to wear it formally as well, because it is kind of unique, right? In comparison to everything else that's available on the market. Of course, when you're dealing with niche perfumes, and of course these aren't niche per se because Christian Louboutin is a designer, but when you're dealing with these niche tier fragrances, because let's face it, they cost what, $335 for a bottle, so they're quite on the expensive side. You're dealing with a lot of unique compositions, kind of bordering avant-garde in terms of how creative they can get to being. And yeah, this isn't your typical freshie, right? This is a very well done fragrance, and I know my wife is gonna love it. So I'm gonna bring it back upstairs to the living room. I'm gonna have her try it today. Yesterday she was sniffling a little bit, and so she couldn't really smell as well as she normally does, and so I'm gonna bring that back upstairs because I surmise that she's going to love it. But in any case, I really hope that these quick pseudo first impressions were helpful to you. These are 3 brand new fragrances by the brand Christian Louboutin. If you would like for me to do like a full review on one of these, I'll probably end up purchasing Loubiluna because I can see my wife and I kind of sharing it just because she likes that type of a DNA. But if you do want to see me maybe talk about one of these more at length, or if you want me to cover anything else from the brand, please let me know. I'd be more than happy to do that. Once again, David's information is going to be down below. Definitely check him out. He's such a great guy, super helpful. Customer service is second to none. And so thank you again, David, for sending these to me. And also thank you at home for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a like, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Love you all. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.